back.
Okay, all right, we're not going to tell stories right now, guys, okay? We're going to start science. Okay, can someone raise their hand and tell me what the word construct means? Only raise your hand if you know what the word construct means. Anyone else?
Building.
Yeah, it means building or putting something together. Hayden, voices are off. So today we're going to construct a sentence after we look at our whole lesson about what we believe to be true. This is called an argument. And like sometimes an argument sounds like a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes an argument you're just trying to prove your point. So in science, a lot of times you have something that you think is true and you're trying to argue that your point is correct. So does that sound like a good kind of argument? Yeah, so sometimes an argument can be a good thing. Okay, so today we're going to be detectives looking at evidence that animals can change their environment to meet their different needs. So does anyone know what an environment is? Raise your hand if you know what an environment is. Blair, what's an environment?
An environment is like when you get sick.
No, not quite. Can someone help her out, Kinsley?
It means like shelter or house.
Yeah, it's kind of like where the animal lives, right? So the environment is where the animal lives. Why don't you just have a seat right over there, Lysander, behind Blair? Yep, right there. Sit down. Not underneath the table, but you can sit right next to him. Okay, voices are off, friends. So the reason animals change their environment is to get things that they need where they live. So what do you think the 3 things are that animals need to survive? There's 3 big important things. So raise your hand if you think you know one of them. Layla? Just list one. Water is one of them. What's another one? Ashlyn? Food is another one. What's the last thing you think? Creed?
Shelter.
Shelter. Good job, guys. Yeah. So they need food, water, and shelters to survive. So we're going to look at some pictures of how animals change their environment. And then when we look at each picture, I want you to raise your hand and tell me if you think the animal is changing their environment so that they can have shelter, so that they can find water, or so that they can have food. Okay? So we're looking for one of those things in each picture. Creed, can you give it to yourself, please? Okay, so this first one. There we go. Okay, so do you think that this squirrel, raise your hand, do you think that this squirrel is trying to find shelter? Do you think that he's trying to find food or water? Raise your hand if you think you know. Delaney, what do you think? Shelter. It kind of looks like he's trying to find shelter, right? And that looks, yeah, it's like the roof of someone's house, and he's trying to dig a hole so that he can find shelter. So that's him changing his environment to try and find shelter. What about this one? Do you think he's trying to find shelter, food, or water? Grayson? Food. He's probably trying to find food, right? What is he doing in this picture? Roderick?
He is eating something out of a trash can.
Yeah, he's digging through the trash can. So it looks like he's probably trying to find food, right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't find anything else in his environment, so he's looking through a trash can because he smelled food. This one's a little bit trickier. These are pictures of, what's this one?
Holes.
Voices off. This is a picture of mole holes. This is a mole, and he's digging holes through that yard. So do you think he's trying to find shelter, food, or water? Penelope? Shelter. He's probably trying to find shelter in the yard. So it looks like he's just destroying the yard, but really he's just trying to make a house. He's trying to make a house in someone's front yard. Oh, this one's a little hard to see too.
Beaver dam.
Yeah, it's a beaver dam. So do you think he's trying to find shelter, water, or food? This one might be more than one. So, Hannah, what do you think? Food and water. I would say
Mrs. Freeman?
Yes?
Can I please have Ariana? She's leaving for her appointment.
Yes, she's on her way.
Thank you.
So yes, I would say that he is probably trying to find some food and water. He's trying to find a good location, get some food and water. What else do you think, Xander? Up here? What else do you think he's trying to find besides food and water? Shelter. That's his house, right? He built it with sticks. It took him a long time. That's his house. He lives there. Okay, we have one more picture. What do you see here? Raise your hand. What do you see, Creed? Spiders? They're not spiders.
Spider eggs?
Not spider eggs, but what kind of eggs are they, Blair?
I think they're bird eggs.
They're bird eggs. What are the bird eggs sitting in?
Nests?
Yes, nests. And is that kind of an odd place to build a nest for a bird? Yeah, so they're in their environment. This was their best option, was inside of a sign that says store. So are they trying to find food, water, or shelter by doing this? Roderick?
Shelter.
Shelter. I would say they're probably trying to find shelter. That's where they built their nest to have their babies. So do you believe that animals change their environment to get what they need?
Yes.
Yeah. So if their environment isn't just providing it directly for them, they have to kind of work for it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just allow them to get the shelter and bring it back to where they used to live and put it on.
Okay.
They
Voice
can't
over.
do that.
Okay, in just a minute, I'm gonna give you a paper, and when you go back to your desk, Xander, get out from underneath the table, please. When you go back to your desk, the very first thing I want you to do is write your first and last name on it. Caleb. Caleb. Gotta listen to instructions. Okay, you're gonna write your first and last name on it. And then I'll put those pictures back up where you can see them again. You're gonna pick one of those pictures. Look up here so I don't have to explain one time. More. Okay, you're gonna take this worksheet, you're gonna draw a picture of one of the things that we saw, okay? And then you're gonna write one sentence about what's happening in the photo. So what would you say is happening in this photo? Penelope?
I got a nest.
So well, what do you think is happening? And no, I got a nest, but Hayden?
I see a nest.
Yeah, so there's a nest and a sign. So you could say, I see a nest in a sign or something, okay? So Kinsley, what's another thing you could say?
You could say, there is a bird living in the sun.
Yeah, there is a bird living in the sign. That's a good one. Okay, so you're gonna write one sentence about what's happening in the picture. And then you're gonna write another sentence about if they're trying to find food, water, or shelter. Everybody look up here. Everybody look up here. Eyes on me. Okay, so what is your first sentence gonna be? Penelope?
Capital letter.
No, what is, you're gonna write two sentences. What is your first sentence gonna have in it? Kinsley.
Nest in the fish.
So you're gonna write what is happening in the picture in your first sentence, okay? So if you choose this one, you're gonna say, I see a nest or something like that, okay? So you're gonna write what you see in your picture. And then your second sentence, what are you gonna write? Charlie? No, that's your first sentence is you're gonna write what you see. Your second sentence, you're gonna tell if they're trying to find food, water, or shelter. Everybody's eyes up here, because I've had to explain it 3 times now. I'll wait till I see everybody's eyes. Okay, so we're writing 2 sentences. Our first sentence, you're explaining what you see in the picture. Your second sentence, you're gonna tell if they're trying to get food, water, or shelter. So what is your first sentence gonna have in it? Penelope. You're describing what you see in the picture. Kinsley, what's our first sentence gonna have in it?
You're describing what you see in the picture.
Thank you. Good job. You're describing what you see in the picture in your first sentence. Great. What are we doing for our first sentence?
Writing something what they do.
So yeah, you're gonna describe what you see. Eyes up here, please. In your second sentence, you're telling if they're trying to find food, water, or shelter. Miles, what are you writing in your second sentence? See why it's really important to pay attention? Grayson, what are you trying to do? What are you writing in your second sentence?
I'm trying to figure out finding water, food, shelter.
Thank you. Okay, so you're going to get back to your seat. You're going to choose one of the photos. You're going to draw your picture. Your first sentence is what you drew, what you see. Your second sentence is if they're trying to find food, water, or shelter, okay? So go ahead and head back to your seat. When I pass it out to you, you need to write your first and last name. Caleb, back to your seat. Write your first and last name. Okay, everybody look up here. We'll talk about it one more time. You're drawing a picture of one of these things that we looked at. Okay, one of the pictures that we looked at, you're going to draw a picture here, okay? Then you're going to write two sentences. So you should have two periods or two punctuations. Okay? Your first sentence is going to tell what is happening in your picture. Okay? And your second sentence is going to tell if they're trying to find food, water, or shelter. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? No. Ensley, you have a question? Or you're doing this share? Okay, just a minute then. Miles, you have a question?
Can we write whichever I want?
If you pick your own, well, you pick one of these pictures. We'll pick one of these pictures because these are examples of animals changing their environment. Blair, you have a question? Ashley, you have a question? Okay, go ahead and get started. You have a question? Yes?
I do want to say about what they're doing.
You're going to write a sentence about what's happening in the picture, and then you're going to write a sentence telling if they're looking for food, water, or shelter. Grayson, you have a question?
Let me see.
Nobody should be talking. You should be working on your own. I can kind of see him a little bit better. Okay, so start by choosing one of the pictures up there and drawing it on your paper. by drawing the picture that you see up there. Well, you haven't drawn the whole picture yet, so you need to start by drawing one of those pictures up there.